Welcome to B.E.A.S.T. Dirty Dozen Does Alabama. This is a two-part series, so be sure to watch them both. Our intention here at B.E.A.S.T. is to make videos that are educational, fun to watch, and to share what we learn with you. Our group of 12 came in from 5 different states to share a campfire and discuss what we have learned and experienced since our last outing back in March. In part 1, you'll see a small structure that was built by someone or something. It was unusual enough to capture Larry and Mark's attention. It was located near a human trail, but inside the wood line by 2 animal trails that ran parallel together. They split up and followed the trails, where several fingers dropped into a ravine and set up a plot watcher and a recorder. Then, Slade Monk takes newcomer Donna Holman under his wing and shows her a possible tall boy trail with signs and encourages her to think like a tracker by asking questions. While out on a night maneuver, a pungent odor was smelled, a large rock was thrown into the water nearby, and Eric captured a figure walking away on his flare. Finally, we pay our respects to one of the original outlaws, Kelly Mattingly. So watch and enjoy.
Alright, we were just hiking down through here to put a camera and some recorders out. And I looked off the trail and noticed this and couldn't tell off the trail whether it's a root wide or what, but we come over here and it's some type of shelter that's been made. All the limbs on it are broke, they're not cut. It's not that old, it's not real big, but we just found it and thought it was pretty interesting. Just looking at the size in relation to a possible Bigfoot or whatever you want to say. It's definitely nothing a mature creature is going to use. I don't really know the purpose of it. Mark said possibly a daycare for a smaller creature or whatever's using it, but it's definitely been made. It's got the main beam and had all this other stuff stacked on it. And we have no explanation. It's not natural. It's been made by what? We have no idea.
Right here it is. We're down in a gully. We followed an animal trail. There was actually 2 of them. We don't know if one was just an animal trail and the other one a tall boy trail. Come down here in this gully, we see where these different fingers come in here and it opens up. We're just going to sit it down here watching this pathway in between these fingers, and we also set up a drop box over here to record anything that might be going on. So we'll check on this in a couple of days and see what it looks like.
Good.
Why is he doing that?
Maybe he's a male coming into adolescence.
Like an alpha?
Or just a male
teenager?
going through puberty. He don't know what he's doing on it. Energy.
That makes sense, I suppose.
But that would be in those 2 trails. See, that one and that one.
Then that one leans over that way.
We got toilet paper.
Leave that.
Sorry.
There's a bunch of them. You don't have to carry that one. I don't know either. Look at this one.
There's bent trees
Look at
over
this
there.
right here.
There, see? Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I ain't
there's a
holding
trail
it down
that way.
there. I was going to think I was holding it down.
But to be able to take a tree and just twist it like that.
I mean, brute strength.
You got brute strength.
Tough.
I'm ready to hear the camera calls from last night. So that's a pine tree. This is obviously not pine trees. They're different trees and they're bent over in the same position.
Yeah.
So how does ice get one tree that's the same size as one and not the other?
And they're in different directions.
Exactly.
And they're both pointing towards the trail.
Oh, good point. They are.
Yep.
That one's going this way, and that one's going that way, and that one's going
That was
that way.
going that way. I don't know what that means. It's intriguing though.
It is.
You know?
There's another tree close.
It's right here at the trailhead too. I don't know. I don't know, Mark.
Pretty good observation. We're gonna get Donna a whole big.
At one of our productive boogering spots, Bear let out an echoing call across the lake, and after a few minutes, Cheryl, Eric, Kane, and Mark slipped off from the group and climbed up a knoll near where the creek runs into a lake. Kane heard murmuring coming from his parabolic in the direction of the woods opposite the group, and then everyone heard what sounded like a large rock splashing into the water. Kane focused the parabolic towards the woods while Cheryl went down one side of the high ground. Eric and Mark started moving towards the trees, and Eric painted a figure moving away from them with the flare and snapped 2 pictures. In the pitch blackness of the night, the odds of a single human in those woods near no roads walking without a light is next to 0. Remembering Kelly by Vicki B. Fulcher. Kelly loved the Indian mounds. It was her favorite booger spot of them all. She had once told us that when she died, she wanted her ashes spread there. We all laughed and said, "Dang, Kelly, you really do love these mounds and mean boogers here, don't you?" She just did her laugh and said she sure did, and this was the place she loved most. We weren't able to do that, but we did bury part of her there. When she shaved her hair after her cancer diagnosis, I asked her to save me some, and she did. I had no thoughts at the time how much this hair would mean to me later or to her final wish. Only after she was gone did I remember her request and the hair. I knew one day that me and Bear would fulfill this last wish to some degree for our sweet friend. This was finally accomplished this past October, within a few days of her actual passing, almost 6 years to the day. As I got out of the truck, I could feel her presence, and I knew she was smiling and that she was happy for us to be there. The hair I'd saved, along with some of mine, Dan's, and some of Bear's tobacco, since he doesn't have much hair, was lovingly placed inside with her hair still inside the zip bag she gave me, and then placed in a lavender bag that I had crocheted. We then buried it in one of the mounds in the area of the mounds she loved best. Kel could now rest in total peace. The journey her, me, and Bear had begun all those years ago around a campfire at Monster Central, where the original outlaws were born, had now reached its final destination for her. A strong bond had formed that night, but we didn't know it. The coming years would see many ups and downs, but we made it through them all. We now stood laying to rest a part of our dear friend and a large part of our hearts with her. When she loved you, her loyalty and love was total. She would walk through fire with you or drag you through it if need be. She was not only an original outlaw, she was just an original, unique person, period. Kel, I love you, girl, and I miss you so much, especially as we get older. I know you are happy and content and at peace now. What more could I wish for you, dear friend? Till we meet again, in my heart always. Love, Vicki.